Hey guys, welcome back with another video with Linksi. I am finally feeling good enough to do a proper video, and well, here we are today. We're gonna be doing a early game guide for Noctilus. It's gonna be a simple one. I've tested out a few things. Ouch, Simba is quite hyperactive today. Tested out a few things, but long story short, this is what I came up with, okay? Noctilus has one of the worst early games I have seen, bar possibly Chaos and Beastman. Yeah, Noroska has actually an early game, and it is just tiring to play the Vampire Pirates till around turn 40. But believe in me, at turn 40, plus or minus, according to how you do and what you get up to, etc., you are going to have the time of your life. You are going to start recruiting Necrofex Colossus, you're going to start unlocking really high level research, and you're going to be able to just steamroll across the map and make everyone be a pirate. So, what is good with Noctilus? Well, you get unique rewards for declaring wars on other factions. Theoretically speaking, that's absolutely fine. You do get a really good pirate crew, a recruitment capacity +2, basically all your legendary admirals get extra recruitment capacity, which is really useful because you are constantly on the go. Even though you can settle pretty much anywhere, and I'll get to that in a second, you need to constantly be fighting. You get recruitment reduction for Necrofex Colossus, essentially allowing you to recruit Necrofex Colossus on the fly, as well as just, you know, making them cheaper in general, because he also gets 20% cost upkeep reduction for Necrofex Colossus, but this is just for his army. And large units get extra weapon strength 15% on his army. You start with one of these Necrofex Colossus, you do start with a gunnery mob, and you do start with depth guard in as well. Now, really important thing to note is the Vampire Pirates have it all. They have magic, they have rituals, they have pirate coves, so special building mechanics similar to the Skaven. They have missions, they have sea shanty, loyalty, and infamy. And these are all important things. And we're going to go through all of them. I'm going to run you through the basics and the cool stuff, and yeah, this is gonna be really good fun. Let's get started. So, starting the campaign, you start with Count Noctilus and the Galleon's Graveyard, and that's all fine and dandy, right? There are benefits to this. One, Galleon's Graveyard allows you to essentially have a city that no one can take. It is ridiculously powerful to have such a situation, and you can't really be affected by other enemies. You might get invaded or attacked by Alt 1 later on, but still now the only thing that you've met is Kalendor, and we're gonna try and keep it that way. Bring your Gunnery White this way, right? You're gonna move your Gunnery White this way, and then we're gonna try and meet at Boxmarsh, because that's the aim where we're going. The reason why you're not going to meet with Alt 1 right now with Tyrion is because you don't want to have problems with Tyrion, because Tyrion can be a pain in the arse to deal with. That said, you do have, and I really recommend that you do beat the Army of Kalendor on turn 1, and this will give us the mission over here. Where is it? Powered by that, it gives you extra movement range, 100% for 5 turns, and extra growth for all provinces. And why is my cat going absolutely ham everywhere? I'm trying to do a video here, brother. Trying to do a video. Alright. I try to include these moments in, but you know, if they annoy you, just let me know and I'll start trimming them out. The guy is just knocking himself all over the place, running after a piece of paper. Anyway. Now, another thing that we need to look at is the Infamy. The Infamy is basically the pirates measure a specific part of their body and go, I have the biggest one. And the more infamy you get, the more that you get targeted. Eventually you get targeted by these special ones where you get the sea shanty verses, and those sea shanty verses give you faster reload and melee defense. The faster reload is ridiculously important because 40 reload skill, meaning that you can shoot much faster. And most of your weapons are actually gunpowder weapons, so you're going to be doing really well with that. However, that is for late game. That's not something we're going to be doing right now. We will farm it, but not for now. Last things is that Noctilus himself is a horde army. You get the horde mechanic, and the horde mechanic essentially gives you a its own unique building tree, right? You're gonna have specific buildings, and we're gonna go for this one building. We're gonna go for composite hulls because we're gonna get Necrofex Colossi. Now, Necrofex Colossi are really important because whatever anyone tells you, whatever anyone says, they are the most ridiculously overpowered and fun units that you can get with the vampire counts. Pirates. The reason why you want Necrofex Colossi is because everyone else is gonna get a shit ton of really good units, and your units do not get good till late game. Late game, deck droppers are stronger than Necrofex in my opinion. Deck gunners and gunnery pirate mobs become much better because they're cheaper, they're easily master produced compared to the Colossus. However, you need the Colossi to get to that stage, and hopefully it will put you on a path towards getting to that stage. So the first things that you need to do is looking at your technology. It looks complicated and messed up. Why? Well, it's weird. Not many other factions have technologies like this where you essentially just unlock an entire section and then you just pick and choose whatever you want. It doesn't really give you a progression, but it also goes in with the theme of pirates. Pirates are just, all over the place, and that's what we're looking for. Now, I would start recommending that you go with command crews and jumping straight into sentries in command. The reason why you want sentries in command, it gives you Lord Recruit rank +5. I did the mistake in my playthrough that I went for an Living Labor Force. That is something you do get, but not the first thing. First thing you get is sentries in command because that gives you extra Lord Recruitment rank, and then you're going to use that. The lords that you use in your offices will give you specific buffs and specific faction-wide bonuses that you will need. You could look, for example, the one that you need to go first is the Fleet Engineer, giving you Pirate Crew Growth +10 to all armies faction-wide, construction cost reduction for all buildings, all provinces, and research rate increase, which will help you across many things, especially since we are rushing for the Necrofex Colossus. Second things are that you have the Fleet Secretary and you Fleet Enforcement Admiral and the Fleet Sailing Admiral here. Well, second, third, and fourth things over there that you're going to want to get. Now, the only two that I believe have don't have the 5 level but have level 8 and level 10 are the Fleet Enforcement Admiral and Fleet Secretary. Everything else just needs Loyalty 5, Recruitment rank 5, and this is why we need that Sentries in Command research, because it gives us the ability to start getting these really early on. I think like turn 9 you start recruiting lords, and they have usually generally enough good loyalty so you can put them in your armies. With this, you're going to be able to set yourself up to have really strong armies early on, as well as giving Noctilus the buffs and supports he needs from his forces. Now, the last two things that we need to cover before we start is the rights. You have 4 rights. The first one is Curse of Bountiful Treasure, Curse of Sea Mist, Curse of Eternal Service, Curse of the Queen's Cannon. Essentially, the two that you're going to be using non-stop are Curse of Bountiful Treasure and Curse of Eternal Service. The chance of getting loyalty for your lords from just hanging out and loyalty not declining, and Public Order in all provinces is fantastic. It helps out a lot. It's something you basically want to constantly be triggering. You unlock it after 3 settlements being owned by you. And the Curse of Bountiful Treasure is essentially a free thing that you get once you have 3 plunder piles, and you get 500 gold for every buried treasure building that you own in the buried treasure chain, which is the following treasure chain over here, building browser. So it's essentially this. So you can get from every capital, you can get 2,500 gold. So if you do like I did in my campaign, you get something like 15 to 20,000 gold every 15 turns, which at around turn 100 it stops mattering because you're stacking cities for 60k, 70k, but it always helps to have. Now, one last thing, you do get Raised Dead. Raised Dead works exactly the same as you would expect it if you ever played Vampire Counts. However, if you never played the Undead, it works simply. You go into a region, you can raise the dead that are in that region. If there have been... Oh my god, that was weird. Sorry, my voice is not yet back fully apparently. Anyway, if there has been a great big battle in that region, you get to recruit more, stronger, just larger volumes of troops. It's really good. It essentially also helps with the mechanic that you need to be going on the go non-stop. Like, come on, come on, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Rush, 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 run, run, run. All right. With that said, let's finally get into the campaign. So the first things that you need to do with Noctilus is recruit yourself a gunnery mob over there and pirate gunnery handguns. The handguns are a really good unit for the vampire cause. You could recruit one of these. You don't particularly need them. If you feel that the fight is, a bit too hard, just recruit one. You're fine. You're gonna get that. You're going to go into Pirate Gallen's graveyard and you're going to demolish that. You're going to build a growth building there. And you make sure that you have command crews coming up, and then you're going to get sentries in command. That is your goal. You're going to rush at Mehri over here and you're going to just try and kill him straight off the bat. He's going to run away because you do have a Necrofex Colossus, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage. But getting into combat with him does, you could out-resolve this. We're going to fight it, as we're gonna try and get a best result from this battle. So, straightforward battle. Put your guns in the front, put Noctilus in front of them, put your melee behind them, and put your Necrofex in the front as well. Just be careful of the Illyrian Reavers. Just to make sure, I'm just gonna put my gunnery deckhands over there and these guys there to make sure my guns are not really affected. But essentially, Necrofex Colossus is more than enough to deal with them, as the Necrofex Colossus does ridiculous amount of damage. The reason you want it is because it's essentially a walking cannon that does really strong melee damage as well, 473 weapon strength. That is armor piercing and armor piercing missiles, which do just tremendous amount of damage. Now, the first battle, just be careful of the Illyrian Reavers, as I said, and you get to use this. The Rage Storm is really good, as it is basically essentially it's a free ability that just destroys units really easily. Your guns are really strong. You're going to want to fight with gun lines like that. Later on, and I'm not sure we'll be getting to that stage, but later on I will also, in this campaign we won't get to that stage definitely, but I'll show you with one of my later campaigns how to hold the army in position when you have a massive gun line. The checkerboard formation works, but you need to make some slight alterations to it. They are focusing the dot guard because they are critically high threat unit, but essentially speaking, this is all it takes. Keep healing your Noctilus, make sure he doesn't get damaged. Basically, Noctilus and the Colossus cannot get damaged, because if they do, well, that's not fun for anyone, is it? Guns just shoot through units very easily, so don't worry too much about it. Overall, wow, they really have a bone to pick with those guys. Overall, the fight just very simple in general, and you just make sure that once you break them, you just take your time to heal Noctilus. He's getting a bit of friendly fire, but nothing too serious, and that should be their morale. Yep, there should be morale. Make sure that you keep healing. Invocation of the Hex on Noctilus, you're going to want him at full health, or as close to full health as possible, because what we're going to be doing after this is, well, it could be, I guess you could say it's cheesy. It's making sure that Noctilus is strong enough to deal with anything. Noctilus himself gets a mount of Necrofex Colossus as well, by the way. So yeah, he's fully healed, and let's jump back into the campaign. So, with regards to post-battle choices you get, you can lose Infamy but give loyalty to your allies and yourself, but you don't really need loyalty for yourself. In this case, you could replenish your units or just take them ransom the captives. You're going to need the money at the early game, and you're going to be fine. You get powered by that, which means next turn you're going to have a lot of movement. That's going to be really important. Get Root Marcher as well, because that is going to be important. Now, last thing before you finish the turn, you're going to build Officer's Cabin, and you're going to build, where is it? This building, Heavy Ballast. The Heavy Ballast is going to help you a lot with regards to this campaign, because essentially speaking, it's going to give you extra growth. You're gonna get 4 pirate crew growth from that, and you're gonna get an additional 2 from here, an additional 1 from here. If you don't get heavy ballast and you just go straight for captain's cabin, you can get the vampire fleet captains really early on. They're really powerful magic casters. However, you do miss out on that additional plus, I think it's +3 actually. You're going to have +3 growth from there, having those buildings built in that direction, that specific combination. So this is the fastest way that I could figure out with regards to the first turn options. Over here, make sure that you get the best thing possible for you. I go with growth. Some people would go with vampiric corruption, which you don't really need to hold for now, and attrition for enemy armies, siege hollow time, global recruitment capacity, yada yada yada, public order. That's absolutely fine. Just go with growth because you want to get Galen's Graveyard as much growth as possible. Getting it to tier 5 will make it pretty much untakeable, as the defense there is going to be really good. We got a really good item as well, Spell Shield. That's magic resistance, comes in handy when fighting vampires. So that's the turn 1, and we're going to be doing quite a few turns in this campaign. I think it will be one of my longer ones, but yeah, that's turn 1, and let's go. For turn 2, you're gonna start moving your gunnery white up this way. The reason why I went that really long breath, again, don't want to meet with the fabled Terror of Alt 1 over there. Good thing for the horde mechanic that this actually works is that you are in generally a good condition to do the following. Now, to run all the way here, and since you finish building in 1 turn. Now, make sure that you come as close as possible, but stay in this region, because I believe that, if I remember right, this gives you its own specific raise the death functions over here. Yep. And that allows you to cheese a little bit by getting a lot of extra troops and essentially giving yourself a really strong army right up the bat. Now, we want to attack Poxmarsh. They are owned by the Vampire Coast Mutineers. They are really weak, and you just want to use them as your sack city. You can auto-resolve this, or you can fight it. It doesn't really matter. But essentially, you're going to sack this settlement till you get Noctilus up quite high leveled. And it's also going to give you a lot of money. And we're going to need that money because we want around 16,000 gold to be able to recruit our beautiful Necrofex Colossus. Over here in Galen's Graveyard, you don't really need to do much more except build the following. 3 Noose over there. Gives you growth, reduction to public order penalties, which is good, and just adding that hero success chance reduction. Ooh. Now let's get straight with this. So I will not be showing you these fights as they're straightforward. I'm fighting them manually so I don't lose my troops, but you could easily auto-resolve this and gives you really good results. Just be careful when you're fighting with the Bloated Corpse, as the Bloated Corpse is, very weak, but can do a lot of damage to you. After taking the city and fighting, you don't occupy it, you sack it. This turn you'll sack it, next turn we'll establish a Pirate Cove. And keep in mind, all of this keeps improving your infamy, and you're going to really want your infamy to go up. Now, with regards to the next thing I get is usually casualty replenishment, because that's really useful. Before you end the turn, always remember to dig for treasure, because the first quest will always be here, and we got 2,000 gold and some extra infamy. We get right unlocked Curse of the Sea Mist, and we get another riddle. The riddles are the last thing which don't really want to use. The riddles and pieces of 8. If you kill the pieces of 8, you get unlocked Regiments of Renown, and if you do the riddles, you get some money. The first one is useful if you're in a region and you stop moving. There's not cost you nothing to first dig for treasure, and it just essentially chucks you in an area, and then go in camp stands and just stay there. Over here there isn't really much to recruit this turn, as they probably already recruited it from themselves, because you're in the same region as Luthor Harkon last turn, so the dead are not really present in this area. So there's nothing to you for you or us to do, and just make sure that you've moved this guy in there, and we're gonna stay here. We're gonna rush, and I say rush, we're gonna rush Lightning Strike and Living Ship. On turn 3, you will have probably met with the Awakening, and you've met good old Luthor Harkon, who decided not to kill us. However, as you should know, or perhaps I should tell you, is that vampire pirates don't work together, and they kind of hate each other. Hence, you cannot confederate them. Yet, early game, they are an invaluable ally if you're playing as Noctilus to use Luthor Harkon. Luthor Harkon is going to be your buffer shield. He doesn't like you. He actually hates you. But we are beating the living bejesus out of the army that hates him. And he hates more than us. So, by extension, he's going to start liking us. And this is also why it's sometimes good to cycle sack certain settlements. And both starts, say, with Luthor and Noctilus, it's good to come into Boxmarsh and farm a little bit of money. But with Noctilus, it works better. I've forgotten how to speak. Better because you do get that little bit of extra help with the Awakened. The Awakened gets wiped out by the Hanuin or Teclis or whoever there is in the way. This turn, we're going to come in at Boxmarsh. We're going to auto-resolve this battle. Don't really take any damage to Luthor. And you're going to establish a Pirate Cove. Pirate Coves are the unique... Ooh, we got a Forbidden Rod. Ooh, Forbidden Rods. You get the unique chance of building 2 buildings. You could build a Smuggling and Trade building, which gives you access to more Infamy and income from local settlement 50%. Or you can get Smuggler's Cove, which gives you Infamy, static income, and income from trade. I would highly recommend getting Smuggler's Cove right now, because it is the building to get. Keep in mind, whoever takes it, this thing is going to stay there till someone decides to blow it up. I would just recommend just leaving it there, and it generally is a good idea. Smuggler's Cove is going to really be nice with regards to that. You also get the options of building a Corrupted Tavern or Pirates Rest. They give you more infamy and other stuff. For example, Lord Recruit rank +1, faction wide. That helps later on in the campaign. You got Morgul Hunters +1 capacity and Gunnery Whites +1 capacity. That does help later on in the campaign, but currently you just need a little bit of extra money. The other option is the Corrupted Tavern, which just makes Vampire Corruption, but it's already 100%, so we don't really want that. So, Smuggler's Cove it is. Noctilus, just level him up. Check if you can recruit anything. In this case, you just want to recruit these 2. I would put 1 bloated corpse in the army now, because there's the off chance that Luthor does attack you. You want to be ready. And you're going to go in M camp. As I said, do this just in case you get a special event happening, but it's oftentimes not going to be happening. Move your Gunnery White, and that is your turn 3. The moment you've set yourself up in a pretty decent position, you don't know that many factions. As you can see, not many people know that we exist. And we are just farming Boxmarsh. Now, you could stay in Lustria after you've done this, and I think it's pretty easily doable with Noctilus, because he has ridiculous levels of movement speed. Or you could do this entire thing using Estalia, using either Bibaldi or Margrethe as your little bullying thing. You do have artillery, so you can easily take it early game. However, keep in mind over there you're exposing yourself to some really big meanies. Turn 4, you start researching sentries in command. That is really important. And now till that is researching, and that's 10 turns, right? We're going to use those 10 turns to cycle sack Boxmarsh and then prepare ourselves to start a war with our good friends down there, the Teclis. At the same time, when you're doing this, because I won't be showing this unless something happens along the way and I desperately need to explain it to you. You're going to want to start upgrading your Maelstrom, and you could get yourself some mortars for your army, as it will help you a lot with Teclis. With this, around turn 11, 12, you should be able to take him out if you decide to go there at that time. You could, however, just stay and chill here for a while longer. So on turn 8, 9 or 10, you're going to get this event Fleshy Fortune, which gives you an extra Gunnery White or Mongol Hunter. Now, either of them is actually good. The Morgul Hunter is going to be a really good frontline unit. He's going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, absorbs health, so it's just really good. Soaker. I don't even know what to call them, but they're basically the unit you keep at the front to keep the enemy away from your missiles. However, I do like my Gunnery Whites. is they tend to give really cool strengths to your army, such as giving your armies a lot of extra ammunition, which early game is important, especially if you're doing sieges, and that ammunition is going to come in handy. So just raise Gunnery White and see what you get. At this point on turn 13, you do this for the last time. You sack, and then you decide what you want to do. Apparently I had an event there, I didn't notice. Anyway, you sack Poxmarch for last time. You have level 11, a full living ship, so your growth should be off the charts. You get into the sea. Make sure that you've built this up. And now you recruit your last 2 units there. You'll keep recruiting as you go along because you want to merge these together to move forward. Now, full disclosure, I mucked up, so I had to restart from scratch. I made a bad decision because I am impulsive, and that happens. So don't be like I am. Don't be like Linksi. Be better. Anyway, at this point, the reason why you want to leave Poxmarch, because Luthor Harkon usually sends 1 or 2 armies. In this case, he sent 2. And you have 2 choices. Choice number 1, which I wouldn't recommend, is come over here and wipe out the Vampire Coast Mutineers and secure yourself some beachheads along the coast of the jungles of Blackslaw and all around here. The reason I don't recommend it, you're going to end up meeting 2 or 3 factions that really hate you and don't like undead things. So I would recommend going down here towards Noctilus. And in this case, in this campaign, it is lucky that the Luthor is at war with Noctilus as well, meaning Noctilus might get interested in fighting at the Blood Swamps, giving you ample opportunities to be able to do many good things. As we are going along, I leveled up my Gunnery Whites this way. I give them extra range and I give them missile strength, so they're much stronger and able to snipe generals. And I level up my Vampire Fleet Captain of the Deeps with Descendants of the Deep and Tightclaw. Usually by this point you would have another Gunnery White, as I had in my first time playing through this. The main issue is that it is a random event, and as far as I knew, it triggered by turn 10. However, in this case it apparently did not. Over here, Galen's Graveyard, you want to have your lynching post and your plunder pile, and that's just about it. And at this point you won't have that much money because you're making sure your army is at maximum capacity. But don't worry, you'll get there in a jiffy as soon as you sack the Star Tower. Okay, we got the event. So apparently the event is triggered by the second research. That is interesting. So the event is you get the second Gunnery White or a Morgul Hunter. Morgul Hunter will help you having front line, whereas the second Gunnery White is going to be a really good sniper. I usually prefer Gunnery Whites over the Hunters. However, you know, it's up to you. It doesn't make a difference. Get one. Bad straight. Doesn't matter. Send him down that way. And now that you have gotten sentries in command, get Salvage Crews. You don't have the money to be able to recruit and switch things out, as if you manage to recruit one with bad loyalty, you're gonna be mocked around. So just check it and see if you have one that is gonna essentially almost guarantee you good loyalty. So we have actually a candidate here, 2 candidates. This one is better. So we actually have a candidate. Look for something that can minimum loyalty of 5, because if you have something that gives you more, less than 5 like this, you'll run the risk of not being able to use them. So recruit, and it's also Vampire of the Deeps. Recruit, in this case, any. Recruit the general. Okay, your coffin shall be prepared. Doesn't matter what you give her. At this point, she's going to be disbanded almost immediately, because otherwise you're gonna go in the minus. In this case, I just simply give the level ups as accordingly as there. Go to the offices, and you're gonna do it in Fleet Engineer, as that's going to help the growth of Noctilus over there. So any Wusley is now there, and you disband. Even if she lost loyalty, she's going to stay in that position, and that's going to give you essentially a much faster horde growth. As you can see now, our horde growth is going to be 25 per turn. We're going to be getting 1 population per turn, and that's going to really speed things up. Essentially speaking, you could just chill and hang out and just build up, disband all your army, just go to Gelling's Graveyard and turn repeatedly till you get to the point where you can build all the buildings. You can disband everything in Gelling's Graveyard, but that's not really fun. I would recommend you actually come down this way and try to deal some damage to the High Elves, because wiping out the High Elves then essentially opens the entire bottom of Lustria for your conquering, as techless is your main issue. So at this point we're gonna run down here. I always recommend merging these guys. There you go, and recruit. If there is nothing to recruit, don't from there, and you should have something to recruit here. Yes. Always handguns. And we're gonna go and land. Now, we're not at war with them. They don't like us at all. Absolutely, they do not like us. However, you should be safe enough. Now, also a good idea to check there are no armies in the region, because as you can see, the public order is going down. There's no military presence, and that will do you a lot of good. In fact, it's probably the army is ready to assault over here the blood swamps as they're getting along. So this is going to be free real estate for you to take. Plus, you can recruit more stuff next turn and be able to charge in. You're going to be able to get here really fast. So, yeah, it seems that it's going very well for us. Our luck didn't hold. They had their army outside of the region, but they rushed back in to defend it as they saw us over here. And that is very, very normal. Now, what needs to be kept in mind is that this is going to happen often. Disband that and recruit those two. It's going to happen very often. The AI comes to defend its settlements. You need to burn down these settlements, as you're going to need the money for your building next turn. Before we do actually start this fight, I like thinking about it. A bloated corpse would be really useful if you have to fight them, as they do tend to bunch up most of their troops. Sending a bloated corpse, managing to wipe out 2 or 3 of them in one go, does help immensely. With regards to setting up, find the flattest piece of land that you can, set up a gun line, set up a front line, and in this case you want your front line to hold as much as possible. Also, always a good idea to hide your bloaty exploding boy. Your front line should be a scattered formation as such, and your Necrofex Colossus should be somewhere in the middle of all of this, defended by your front line. Your fleet captain and your general to the flanks. Put your deckhands in the sides, and in the center always put your depth guard to use them where you need. This way they will engage, you'll be able to hold them off, and you'll always get a continuous fire line. That will help you do a lot of damage. We actually got a really good magic, but our reserves are ridiculously low. They have a lot more troops than us, but don't worry too much. Move forward and try to waste some of their missile arrow ammo as such. Of course, do it on slower speed. The where is it? There you go. On the light archers, and you we're too far back. You're gonna come in from the flank with the Illyrian Reavers. Don't worry too much about it. Wasting their archers ammo is gonna make sure that your units don't get shot by the archers, and as you can see, these guys will start shooting, and it will be great. The Necrofex Colossus is already at a decent amount of kills. Kill their heroes. They're gonna be a big pain in the ass to deal with if you do not. At this point, summon a unit or anything. If you have most troops, you'll be able to summon something. Hide that guy and engage. You go up. And you go in there. And you get ready to charge in. Kill the units as fast as you can, as that's going to be really important. Throw a bomb in there, and you keep shooting at the missiles. The healthier blobs, the better. This should be a good jump. Come on, boy. You got this. Look at him run. No, 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 no. Yes. Doesn't affect your units that much because they're big entities, but it does affect his units a lot more than yours. Set these guys up there and keep shooting. You need to keep shooting as much as possible. Make sure everything is shooting. If there's something that isn't, well, change their direction. They do like shooting at your depth guard, so pull them back and pull them in. Summon in the next one. That will keep them occupied over there. These guys try to snipe their general, and you should be fine. Kill that guy, and this way we're managing to push them back. Start creating flanks as much as you can. These guys go there. As long as your handguns are shooting, you're fine. Once your handguns stop shooting, that's where problems start coming. Keep your Necrofex Colossus ammo up. And you charge in there. Make sure he lives. That was a big boo-boo from me. And okay, we need to get him out because he is getting shot. He takes a lot of punishment, but getting shot by so much shit. Of course, nothing really lives long when it gets shot that much. Over here, we're managing to push a lot of them out of the waters, so to speak, and collapsing on them. Pull this out and focus on that. That has a lot of balance of power. You focus on that, and you focus on that. Snipe, Noctilus, bring him back. Make sure that you use your healing as much as you can. And that is their units over there. With the vampire coast, you want to have as flat as the ground as possible. It will help your units shoot better. Keep healing Noctilus, and once this guy is dead, start wiping out the rest of the troops. Dodge as much ammunition as you can, and you should be in the victory streak right now. You should be getting ready to win. If you snipe their general, it's your victory. You go and hold that flank, and you shoot over there. Their general is about to die, and their army is routing. Army losses. And that is how you fight. Flat ground, open formation, make sure everything is shooting at any point in time, and use your magic as much as possible. Didn't even get to use the Rage Storm fully here. Doesn't matter, it's just more for experience. Now, after you've managed to win this fight, and this is, again, if you don't manage the first try, don't worry, it's a really difficult fight. You'll struggle a bit. You can also fight here on the hill, or like on this like slope. You could get better results, but honestly, this is one of the best fights I ever had with an early game army with the Vampire Coast. So you got a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, he did okay. Wiping out those Rangers, the Rangers tend to chew through your units, does help a lot. So maybe even having two would help, because there were some really big blobs. The Vampire Captain of the Deep did a lot more damage than it showed, because those Dissonance of the Deep held the line long enough for our units to shoot and hands do damage. Most of our army is intact. Over here, you're going to want to sack, and then we're going to do a little bit of cheese. That will, no, we actually have enough movement. If you don't have enough movement, use the movement cheese to occupy Fuming Serpent, and you should be fine. The reason why you want to sack and occupy, it gives you the money that you need to be able to upgrade to this next turn. I would highly recommend, however, that while you're at it... Wait, where is it? not this. Too many buttons. You do recruit some more troops, because there is Teclis over here and he has an army. He's not recruiting, but he still has an army, and you'd want some troops to beat him. In this case, I'm just going to get myself one bloated corpsey boy, because most of Teclis' army is actually large units, so our guns will be able to do really good at them. I think he has an eagle and has artillery of the sorts. So, Kiss of the Deep is going to really help. Every time you cast magic, you do AoE damage around you, so that's good. That's good for you. And with that is your 16 turns. At this point, you stop building the Galleon's Graveyard, and you're focusing on Count Noctilus. You should be on a course to get the Great Cabin in a very few turns, as the growth is just extraordinarily large at this point. At this point, you should have salvage crews, and you're going to go for ship's carpenter, because that is going to make things cheaper. You still have a few turns till you get the necrophags, so go for it. Teclis is not an army you can actually beat at the moment, as he is inside a settlement. He's recruiting, and he's recruiting a second army over there. Doesn't mean he's going to attack you over the next turn, but at the same time, you shouldn't really go in there. This is what I was speaking about earlier, where if there's a big fight, as in this case, there are lots of casualties, there will be more for you to choose. And at this point, I would snag myself gunnery mob with bombs. They will help a lot. Handguns, of course. The polearm gunnery mobs are actually really good, so snagging a few of them will help you as well. And getting yourself, almost back to full, if not full. In this case, I would get rid of this the moment I can put him in the army, as it will help a lot. Level 12, you want to get either Master of the Dreadfeet or Money Jacket. Master of the Dreadfeet will allow you to get other really cool things that he has, such as the replenishment and I think Vandal, which gives you even more growth. So we're going for mass growth, so Vandal is what we want to get. However, Money Jacket would also give him 5% ward save. That is a lot of protection. Rank 18 is still far off, as we want our Necrophax Colossus. That's when you really want your ward save to be at its best. What do you do from here? Well, realistically, you run. Okay? You've taken a settlement from them. They're going to come. They want to settle it. You're going to run away. I would just abandon settlement and run out. They will want to settle it because they are ruin dwellers. And when they settle it, you're going to go and snipe them again. So you're going to go just outside of their range over there. You're going to build your flex ship expansion, and you're going to bring in your guy. Get rid of that and throw him in. Why are these guys better? Well, they have longer weapons, so they generally just do better than close combat. The reason why you're abandoning that, it will actually affect your public order back at Galleon's Graveyard. On any other difficulty except legendary and very hard, that's not an issue. In this case, it is, as public order is a problem on those difficulties, but don't worry too much about it. They should, for all intents and purposes, capture it, send an army, and once they capture it, they'll be weakened enough for you to finish off Teclis, and then just running to the settlement and beating the settlement there. Keep in mind, the Octo Daddy might come in the picture as well now, because he likes quote-unquote raiding stuff. But as much as they might fight you, they might also fight Teclis, because Teclis is in a weakened state right now. Could we have finished off Teclis? No, we couldn't have. It would have been a very, very difficult fight, and maybe if we tried hard enough, yes, but it's not going to be a guide for everyone if it's something that is very, very difficult. At this point, either this turn or next turn, they should have a rush to occupy Fuming Serpent. If not the case, you're still just getting growth. Patience is key with the Vampire Coast.
complete command. Fear me. Count Noctilus reigns. Nothing shall stop me. Catching wind. The Galleon's graveyard calls for more dead. Go, Reaver! The winds blow strong. The sea dead come to me.
Mother of the Dark.
Call me Lord.
He's not actually fighting. So, instead of Teclis, we have our good friend Lokir here, Felhard, who took this settlement. Not a deal, not a big deal whatsoever. We're going to declare war, and we're gonna go settle a pirate cove there. This should be a really easy fight. They settled in, and they threw in half their army. You can auto-resolve that, you could fight that, it doesn't matter. You establish a pirate cove, and you are going to make a decision. How much troops does he have? He has a big army. Where is the army going? You don't know. So you could go in force march and get into the sea and run away. However, actually level up, tight call over there. However, you could also stay and fight, because if you kill his army outside the city, you're gonna do really well. Now to do that, it would have been ideal that we fought that battle, but just in case it happens to you, I'm still gonna put it like that. For here, recruit another bloated boy. Bloated boys are always nice. And over in this side, you want to secure Smuggler's Cove. It gives you income and research rate increase, plus infamy. No one ever said no to infamy. At this point, your infamy should be getting quite high. As you can see, not many units were lost, and it was a relatively straightforward battle. They send in the Shadow Warriors first. You deal with them by moving your heroes forward, dodge a few units, get your handguns to shoot them down, you outrange them and out DPS them, and then when he sends the rest of your his troops in, just melt him. Get the sweet money from him, and yeah, you finish him off over the end turn. With the healing potion, okay. I'm uploading this save file so you guys don't necessarily have to do the start turns, and you'll start with a tier 5 Great Cabin if you would like, and if you're having problems getting there, or you feel that the Vampire Coast are a little bit too tedious at the start. At this point, Vandal, get that sweet pirate crew growth that you need. And over here, you get Crackling Fruit. That is going to be really good because it slows things down, and you generally want to slow things down. Over here, you should be hitting Evasion, and then we're getting Vargheist Revenge, which is really good. If you're going to go Siege Star Tower, which I think you would be able to in this scenario, you would be able to get quite a lot of damage down with Kraken's Pull. It's not really worth sieging it right now, as you lose too much as well. No, in this case there is an army that's running after us, but you lose too much in fighting it compared to what you would gain. Finish off Teclis over here, and yeah, just melt him down, as he is pirate booty now. So there is an army over there from Kalendor that wants to kill us. Lovely. We're going to use William Jenkins. In this case, if you move out too far of the Rage of Fuming Serpent, which is your goal this turn to sack, just use the movement cheese and you'll be okay. Use the movement cheese, get there. Make sure that you put your Gunnery White Dwarf hero back into the army. And upgrade. Apparently we had another upgrade there. Yep. We want replenishment and we want tenacity. That's good. Try to go for more damage, more health, and more damage reduction. Auto-resolving works, but keep in mind that you're gonna take damage if you auto-resolve too much. In this case, my army is at half strength. Over, we get Vargheist's Revenge over there, and you get him the last black powder. Recruit whatever you need. In this case, there are quite a lot of juicy things you can get. And make sure you have the full army set and ready to go. Well, in my case, just my luck. My ambush failed, but and just clear. It's very, you know, you can deal with this army if you want to fight it, as the terrain should be pretty much in your favor. Yep, we have the high ground. Yep, this is absolutely fine. Otherwise, just retreat and fight another time. Oh, really? So this is a really good map to fight on for a number of reasons, but mainly it's this location which allows you to set yourself up to anything that comes. They have to come in this little gap, so you get to kill them much easier. Also, in this case and scenario, they're spawning in from there. It allows you to pretty easily massacre them as they're spawning in. It's a little bit glitchy, but you should be very easily able to deal with them. Put your units up there. Yeah, as far as I know, you cannot cross from up there to down there unless they changed it in the more recent patches. Put these guys there, and the bomb guys go here. Well, we'll place them up here so they shoot. Anything that comes in through there should get massacred. As I was saying, absolute massacre. It's a really good place to settle a Dissonance of the Deep over there, as it will stop them moving and it won't let their archers to shoot at you. But essentially speaking, they're just getting slaughtered as they're moving in. Kill that. These guys have bombs, use them. Come on, use it. Okay. And that's just scaring off their army, killing it really easily. You get up. You drink that. You heal. And by this time they'll start coming in shortly, but we'll be able to deal with them. Yeah, all of these guys are just running away. And these guys, again, just that was so important. It's as long as he is that. Come on, run away, don't die, don't die. Come on. So you're easy pickings. Okay, he survived. No. You do this. You guys come here, and you come here. I'm gonna figure out where they are. Okay, apparently they can go up through there. So normally they just get in through that little gap, and it's not an issue. Firing uphill is problematic, yes, but keep in mind they're gonna have it's your advantage, and you killed half of their army already with no losses. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful place to drop, what you call it. Oh shit, I threw in the wrong guys forward. To drop a big boy. A big juicy boy. A big tick boy. Bloated corpse, there you go. Jesus, that took a while. Vargheist Revenge is also be a really good cast over there. It will do beautiful things. Lothar and Sea Guards, throw them down. Go in. No. Come on. Please don't move out of the way. They dodged it. But we're killing whatever they're sending our way with relative ease. So it's good. And this is the reason why I play Vampire Coast. This spell is just so nice. This is one of the best animations in the game. And it just does so much damage. The balance of power is in our favor now. Give that giving units more gunpowder, more ammunition back gives you balance of power, so it's generally a good idea to do so. And this should be them breaking very shortly. Oh, you ran away. Yep, that's them dying. Kill the Lord. Or reduce the Lord's health as much as possible before. You should always kill the Lord when you're attacking. When you're not attacking, don't kill the Lord. But if you can heal... That's fine. Their army is pretty much gone. And we got more money out of it. At this point, you've pretty much killed the Order of Lore Masters. However, your army... It's not doing so well, is it? You're at half health, and you're struggling. Again, this is another two options situation. You could disband your entire army, except the Necrophax Colossus and your heroes. You go back, Galleon's Graveyard, you stay there, you chill, wait for the growth to come. You have the money, because you're going to get the growth. You're going to recruit Necrophax Colossus at that point, right? Okay, yeah, he force march here. That will be an army to take out. Luthor Harkon is coming in to join the party. You could do that. The other option here is you go siege and take out and occupy Star Tower, and do the same here at Star Tower, beating off the armies that come from BF4. That's actually going to be really good. Casualty replenishment. Okay, that's good. Beat the army of Astalia. Now, can you beat this settlement? It is basically Lothar and Seaguard. Yes, you can beat. You destroy a tower, waste all the ammunition, and then just use your heroes with cheese. You'll beat it. Absolutely, yes. However, if you want to be safe and make 100% sure that you're going to survive this campaign, not having to restart or reload in certain situations, it's a good idea to fall back. At this point, you have enough growth to build that. We didn't actually finish the ship's carpenter on time, because we are actually tier 5 on turn 23. And you're powerful. You got, I think the powerful is tier 4. Let's see. Yeah, powerful is tier 4. Ambush foiled. Oh, sad. Sad. Okay, Grim Gore doesn't matter. Cool. So, since I am a YouTuber and I have to quote unquote prove myself to myself because I have no self-confidence and I cry myself to sleep every day, I'm going to wipe out this army and occupy the Volcanic Islands. Well, after killing the army, if there is an army there, I killed her, but because at this point things start going everywhere in the campaign. After killing that army, I used the movement cheese bug to actually get to Star Tower. Again, don't recommend this part of action at this point. Guys, abandon, be a pirate, go fight another day. You're going to want to level up Rotten Dat also at this point, because you're preparing for Necrofex Colossus. You want your Necrofex to be as strong as possible. Upgrade Rotten Dat to level 3, and you're going to have a much stronger army when that happens. Also, the Vampire Fleet Captain of the Deeps, get Kraken Pull. That is going to be really important when sieging a settlement. Now, we don't have that much magic. We have exactly... Wait, how much magic do we have? We have 35, because there is a calm in the region. So we're going to get like 2 costs. But those 2 costs will be more than enough to deal a decent amount of damage. Remember, we just have to waste our ammunition, and we will be fine. Give the Necrofex Colossus, if you get this is actually a really good banner. It gets regeneration. Necrofex is going to really enjoy that. A battle and a half, boys. Battle and a half. Man. That was tough. Yeah, I would not recommend this experience to anyone. If you do attack the settlement, do attack it on full force. As you win. I lost my Vampire Fleet Captain to an accident, but yeah, that was just horrifying. Christ. Yeah, she kind of got sniped, like she had like 30% of her health, but she got sniped in one hit by a really lucky hit from their side, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. However, on the bright side, the Order of Lore Masters is no more. And at this point, as I said, this was just an extra step. I will leave it in your hands. We will have, if you keep, you have enough growth to get the Necrofex Colossus building, and then just get build money, and all you need to do right now is literally hold your position, and you'll be fine. The Dark Elves will send some shit your way, but you should be able to deal with it. And then after them, you'll kill Lord Skroak. And after Lord Skroak, you should have an army and a half. It's unfortunate she died, but this is your city now. I would say sack, but keep in mind if you do, you'll not be able to capture it this turn. So occupy is the best option. You could sack and use movement cheese to capture it, but that might not be the optimal option, just so you're aware. In fact, I'm going to show you. Get your hero out of your army and use your hero as a ping pong. Be careful if you move your... Is this enough movement? I don't think it is. And that is enough movement. And then occupy. You should get it at tier 1. They really will not attack you. If you recruit some troops, you should be fine even if they do attack you. One of them will only be attacking, the other one will be at sea. And frankly speaking, they don't have nearly enough troops to beat you. You go in there and you have an army. You'll build this up and you can start building this at the same turn. As of next turn, turn 25, you'll be able to recruit Necrofex Colossus if, wait, This is 900, this is 3,600, and this is 9,000. Yeah, this will be the most expensive one, but don't worry about it. If you don't want to spend all that money, just wait for the ship's carpenter to come in and then start getting enduring reanimation, and you should be fine. At this point, it's just a waiting game, and you'll have your Necrofix Colossus. I'm going to end turn, save it, and start editing the video, because it's going to be a really long video to edit. It's like 3 hours long. Dang it. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, let's do it like this. Hope you enjoyed this this video. If you did, please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like if you've been here forever and you're tired of me. And leave me a comment. Tell me which video you'd like me to do next. This was a little bit of a toughie. But yeah, if you want to continue the campaign, you're going to be able to do so. Like literally from straight here. And you'll be able to do your campaign with skipping the entire first part and having rushed Necrofix Colossus on turn 20 something. Like by turn 30 you should have Necrofix Colossus. And I will warn you, if you're gonna fight this, continue from here, you're gonna need to know certain few things. Namely, you're not strong enough right now to fight anyone else. You're gonna struggle. And every time you're fighting someone, you need to use trickery, every trick in the book. Lockyer is ridiculously strong compared to you, and everyone else is ridiculously strong compared to you. They all have a much stronger army. When your army heals, that will change a little bit, but it is not necessarily the case. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye!